Welcome to the Savage Productions YouTube channel.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Savage Productions YouTube channel. I just got to the shop today and we have a brand new project here. 1314 Mustang, the race red. It's got some nice accents on it. It's got some really nice wheels. The owner got this car from Colorado, I believe, and it's about 17,000 miles. He ended up getting gapped at a stoplight by like an F-150. So he came to us, said, make this thing faster. This guy spared no expense because he went ahead and ordered a Paxton 2200 blackout kit. If you're looking for a Paxton or Vortec dealer, give us a shout, Savage Performance. You can find us on Facebook, Savage Performance Kentucky. So anyway, while I was at work today, Dad and our buddy Mitch came over and he actually helped out a little bit today. They started tearing this thing apart. They got a few parts off of it, started getting things ready to put the Supercharger kit on. So I'll get the camera turned around real quick, show you what's going on here, and then I'll show you the parts and everything like that. So we got the front bumper taken off today, all the air accessories, everything off the front of the motor. He's gonna actually clean up all this dust and everything. So I guess in Colorado, the air is just really dry, and being clay, a little bit of wind and dust, that stuff gets everywhere. This car only has like 17,000 miles, and the owner is just surprised at how much dust is always falling out of this thing when he washes it. So we're gonna spend time, do a bunch of cleaning on this, kind of dry brush the wire loom and all that stuff, everything that's seen, just so it looks a lot better when we put all this together, because he actually sprung for the blackout kit. So we have it all laid out here. We're gonna take a picture and post it. He got the black intercooler. It has the optional competition inlet, and this is the Paxton 2200 SL trim, I believe, and it's blacked out as well. So this kit's gonna look really good with the red car with all the blackouts on it. And then his daughter actually painted up the Boss intake like this. She's an artist, and she did a really, really good job just freehanding all this red. So that's gonna look real sick once it's all put together. This thing is gonna be cleaned up here soon. I think probably in the next day or so. We're gonna put the intake on and then just start assembling the kit. So I'll go ahead and show you some pictures from before when all of this was together. Dad made sure to take a couple pictures before he ripped it all apart because he knew I wasn't here. I'll share those with you, put those on the screen right here. So as you can see, this car is really beautiful. Everything about it, it's just awesome. He just did it all right. So with the Paxton 2200, it's gonna be a lot of other mods that need to be done just to be able to support the power. It is a stick shift car, so he opted to put a McLeod clutch in it. So we're gonna be putting a McLeod twin disc with the stainless steel braided clutch line. That's gonna help out a lot with heat and all that stuff. Aluminum flywheel as well. There's also gonna be a drive shaft shop aluminum drive shaft, which he purchased. We're gonna try to put a Barton shifter in it if we can, but I think that they're on back order, so we're gonna try to get an MGW. But if not, we might have to wait on one of those. And then besides that, we're gonna be putting a JBA off-road X-pipe for stock headers on this thing as well, which that will pair very nicely with his Borlet Attack exhaust, which he already has. So I think that was the only mod that he had on this thing. He didn't even have a cold air or anything like that, did he?
He bought one, yeah. It's already in the trunk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he'll have a cold air to sell after this. If anybody needs a air raid intake for 13, 14, I believe it fits the 11 and 12s as well. Hit us up and we'll help this guy get it sold.
Oh yeah, he's also got bought a set of Roush coil covers.
Oh.
Yeah, they're really nice too. They're red and black.
Of course. What other color would they be? That guy's got an obsession.
Yeah. I mean, look at the rotors.
Oh yeah.
He put these rotors on. It's a track pack kit, but he put the rotors on. He put pads, painted the calipers.
Got the NT Nitto 555 Gen 2s on them.
Yeah, put the rotors and the pads in the back, painted the calipers.
I mean, this car is just immaculate. Everything about it. He got it really, really cheap too. I don't want to say exactly what he got it for, but he got it. He stole this freaking car, man. It's insane. All clean title and everything too, in case you were wondering that's why he got it cheap, but no, it's all clean title. This will only take less than a week, so we'll probably just put all this into the same video. From beginning to end, you'll see the entire progression of this car. And it's still gonna be 93 octane. How much boost? About 9 pounds?
We went with we did the optional 3.6 pulley.
Okay.
So it's gonna be about 10 pounds.
Okay, yeah, that should.
He just wants to run 93 octane, so probably about 18 degrees timing. It'd probably make about low mid 600s at the wheels.
Not be bad.
Yeah, that's really all he needs.
Until he runs into another F-150 that gaps him.
Yeah. I can turn it up. Okay, well, now we got to do E85.
Yeah.
Fuel system.
Yep. So he pulled up to a stoplight, and I guess the guy in the F-150, he just took off, and he didn't even know he was racing. And then he tried to chase him down, and he spun. So he got gapped by an F-150. Till he gets gapped by another F-150, this is the plan. But for now, I'm going to head on out, and we'll be back to you in just a bit with a couple more updates. Hey guys, we're back. We made some pretty good progress on this thing yesterday. Didn't turn the cameras on at all. We just kind of wanted to get a bunch of work done. It's Sunday today, so we worked overtime on this thing a little bit Saturday, and we made some really good progress. So when I got here yesterday, Dad already had the supercharger on, mounted up to the bracket. There's a few modifications that you have to do with the Paxton kit, specifically to the cooling system. The coolant reservoir tank that usually mounts right here on the stock car, it's actually going to be mounted here, and they provide a new tank and everything and mounting brackets for it and all that. But that means that all the coolant hoses and all that stuff need to be rerouted. So there's a bunch of little modifications that you have to do for like this coolant line. It has to run over here. You put this T-fitting on it, and then there's this other one that you have to make up, and it comes over here. It's a little goofy, but once it's all done, you know, it's all out of the way, and then it has plenty of room for the supercharger here and that inlet. So as of yesterday, the cooling system is pretty much done. We had to make up these pipes that go down here and go underneath below. Well, they're not pipes, they're hoses. So we got that part done. And then the only other thing is the coolant reservoir tank right there, but we're gonna wait to do that, so we're gonna put different motor mounts in there. Also yesterday, we got the intercooler mounted. So it looks really good, and we got the hot side piping mounted. So it comes from below the intercooler, comes up and goes into the bottom of this. This is the blow off valve. There's a filter on there. So the owner of the car showed up riding this thing, and this is his baby. He calls it Big Red, right? Big Red. It's a Kawasaki ZX14R, and he's got a lot of money in this thing. Engine's built. Been painted. You can see he's a big fan of red. It's got all this chrome on it and everything, and he says he's too afraid to just open this thing all the way up. He says he got a lot of respect for it, so that's why we're not doing such an all-out build on his car here, because he's got this thing if he ever wants to mess around with anybody. That sounds so nasty. Back to this old girl now. Next we're going to go ahead and take the transmission out, throw the clutch in there, and the new drive shaft, and then go from there. We also got to put the motor mounts in. After that, once it's all back done, we'll start on the cold side, tighten this clamp up here, let this loose so when we tilt the engine back, none of that's attached. But yeah, it's coming along good. So we finished working on this thing yesterday, and we made some good progress. We got the transmission out, and again, you can see all the dust from being in Colorado. But we got the transmission out, and I'll get down here. We just finished something else. I could just lift it up, but that'd be too easy. We got the McLeod RST installed here, and then we just put in this one motor mount. Climb way up under here. Just put in this one motor mount tonight. We said the other one to do. He's going to do that tomorrow. Today, Dad also figured out the complete cold side piping. So we already had this done. He got the mass airflow sensor in there, and he has this one tightened up. The throttle body's done. This is all plugged in. All that's done. So after the transmission goes back up in there, then he can complete all the cold side, tighten this one up on this, and then all we have left here is the air inlet.
We're doing this Moroso covers.
Oh yeah.
The brushed aluminum. We're doing that Peterson's old catch can.
Oh yeah.
Mounts back there, comes on the Cobra Jet.
Same one you have on your car.
Yep, except they make a black that one now.
Oh,
So
of course.
It's actually anodized black.
Nice. Yeah,
Nice.
that thing will look good.
Yeah, it's gonna look real good.
And then Barton's shifter is coming too, right?
Yeah, that should be here. Actually, should have been here.
Mounts right there.
See you tomorrow.
So it's been a few days. I've actually been out of town. Kind of ran into a few different things, and it's all really because the owner wanted to do some extra stuff while I was here. So first off, the bumper's on, and as you can see, you can't even see the intercooler in there, which is pretty cool. I think that's kind of the look that he was going for. And then here is the completed install on the Paxton 2200. So all this fitment is pretty good. The only issue with this car is that it's a track pack, so it has this extra cooling lines, and the competition inlet doesn't really work 100% with the track pack, which that's something that we weren't really familiar with, or they didn't tell us. So the air is pretty much just going to come through the factory vents and then be sucked up through the bottom hole here for the air filter. And then of course when the hood's shut, this will seal all across here and keep all the hot air out. So that's probably going to work out pretty good. We also did the Moroso fuse box cover. So we got the engine dress up caps. Everything's filled with coolant. There might still be a couple little air bubbles left. We still have to do the initial driving and the tune. Got the battery box cover, which I think this is the first time I've seen one of these. That thing looks really good. And then here is the Watson Racing oil catch can. Those are the same ones that they put on Cobra Jets. And then we put this special, is this the wire loom? Or is that what is that?
Wire loom.
Wire loom?
Yeah.
Well, it looks a little bit better. Yeah, it came with regular hose, so he dressed it up a little bit with some wire loom.
And here's the Moroso cover.
Oh yeah. So that goes on there. He just had that open because he was kind of working in that corner with the boost reference and all that stuff for the gauges that he's working on. So that's what the customer wanted to add. He wanted some gauges thrown in there. Oh yeah, that also comes with a cap for the engine dress-up kit. We got the transmission back in with the... Did you go with the Barton or MGW shifter?
Barton.
That's with the Barton shifter, and it's pretty much stock location.
He wanted the stock handle on it.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
So then, right now, Dad's just finishing up some wiring.
You can see those from the other side probably. The gauges are right there.
Oh yeah.
I don't have...
What kind of gauges we have? Boost gauge.
A wideband, AFR, boost gauge, which they're actually, the brand is Passport.
Okay.
He got them from American Muscle.
Got it.
And then he got this from American Muscle. It's a Banks.
So that's kind of like the Aeroforce gauge that you have, right?
Yeah, it plugs into the OBD2.
He's finishing up the wiring on that. We'll complete the install, cleaning up some fingerprints on the gauges and stuff.
Yeah.
Probably top off the coolant, and we'll probably go on the first drive here in a couple days. All right, guys, we're back. The car's done. All the gauges are hooked up and everything like that. It's all done. Clutch is bled. The clutch is kind of broke in a little bit. Still doesn't have those necessary 500 miles on it, but we're going through the process right now of getting this car tuned. So there was a base tune, and then off of that base tune, Dad had to take it out and do a little bit of different idle steps. So I think it's like 1500, 2500, 3500. You're just supposed to hold it there a little bit while you're driving it and to do some smooth driving, that kind of stuff. And then I think there's been about 2 revisions so far. And this next revision that we have, it's going to be doing the same thing as last time. What he had to do last time is kind of do the same RPM kind of steps, take it up to 3500 to 6500 wide open throttle.
Yeah.
He said that the last time it was on what, 14 degrees?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is extremely conservative for anything like this, so it's still very much a base tune. So we don't exactly know what's on this tune. We're tuning with Lund Racing remotely, so probably going to be about 16 degrees. They might have messed with the idle a little bit, and then after that, there'll probably be a final one that's going to be probably around 18 degrees, because that's about all that they really want to run on 93 octane. So we're going to take this car to our private test track that we have and get it tuned in. Yeah, still got a little bit of a miss at idle. Yeah, you can hear it kind of sputtering. They have a couple more revisions to do on the tune, so that'll be fixed. Alright, so we're logging here. We have the custom configuration that they wanted us to use, and we had to just sit here and idle for about 3 to 5 minutes. So we're just finishing up the 3-minute mark, and then right about now we can go ahead and start our drive. So there's a few steps we need to do. I think you can do the 1500 one.
Yeah, it's 2500.
Okay. So cruising at 2500 now. Just following the instructions.
While we're running over stop sign.
Yeah, don't run the stop sign while you're looking at the RPM.
We'll do it again since we stopped. Like what, 10 to 15 seconds?
Is that what it says? Yeah, 10 to 15. Okay.
I didn't need to shift.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, 35. Definitely should have shifted. Yeah, we got up to 40.
Drivability seems to be pretty good on it.
Yeah,
So that was what, 10 seconds maybe?
Probably.
35?
probably.
Well, we'll do it again right here. And second this time.
Do it, yeah, do it a couple times. Sure sounds good. Now merging onto the private test track. So after a couple wide open throttle pulls, we are done with this log. We'll get this sent off to Lund Racing, and a couple more revisions will be sent back and forth, probably get this thing dialed in. It might be coming back at a later date though, because again, once Lund Racing really starts adding the timing in there, got to be kind of easy on the clutch. So actually that's why you see this blue line that's highlighted here, that's the throttle position, and we were pretty easy on getting to watt, even though they say for tuning you really should just floor it, but we want to kind of take it easier on the clutch. So they did bump it to 16 degrees from 14, and Dad said that it did feel a little bit faster.
Yeah.
So that's why on this second pull here he kind of took a little bit easier on the clutch. So customer's probably going to go and get some street miles and get it broken in, and then he might be back so we can do some more data logging, or he might just do the data logging himself. But I think that's about a wrap for this project.
Yeah, it's about a wrap.
So all in all, I think it went pretty good. First time installing the Paxton kit. It was a lot to learn. But yeah, if you have any car that Paxton or Vortec makes superchargers for, and you want it installed or purchased, for that matter, and you're located in our area, feel free to hit us up. It's Savage Performance KY on Facebook or savageperformanceky.com. Really not a whole lot of action going on the website right now, but you can definitely hit us up on Facebook or give us a call. You know, we can order the kit up for you and hook you up. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you all for watching. Thanks to John for trusting us with his baby. This thing's a beautiful car. We're super excited it came by the shop. Get some very well-deserved power upgrades. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe. Share this video with all your friends if you feel like doing so. If you have one of these cars, come to us to make it faster, you know, etc., etc. Thanks for watching. See you all in the next one.